This message may challenge you, but it's meant to help you grow, not condemn you. Faithful are the wounds of a friend. Proverbs 27 verse 6. When God isn't the center, nothing really satisfies. Ecclesiastes sound like your mind on the most honest days. What's the point? Why am I even doing this? Is this really all there is? This is not a book written by a failure who never had a chance. It is written from the other side of everything you think will finally make you feel fulfilled. Success, pleasure, work, money, projects, wisdom, reputation, experiences. The teacher has tasted it all, and his verdict hits like a punch to the gut. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity, like breath on a cold day. There for a second, then gone. Ecclesiastes is not God having a bad mood. It is God showing you what life becomes when you try to live it under the sun, with everything possible, except Him at the center. Here's the blunt truth this book presses on you. If God is not your meaning, everything else will eventually feel meaningless. Ecclesiastes hands you the journal of a man who ran the experiment the rest of us only fantasize about. He did not just dream about a bigger life. He built it. He did not just crave pleasure. He indulged in it. He did not just imagine wealth. He accumulated it. He did not just talk about wisdom. He chased it. If anyone could answer the question, can life under the sun satisfy without God? It was him. He throws himself into pleasure and laughs hard. He throws himself into projects and builds big. He throws himself into wisdom and deep thinking. He throws himself into wealth and comfort. And then he steps back, surveys everything his hands have done, and says, "It was vanity and vexation of spirit. There was no profit under the sun." Ecclesiastes is not saying nothing matters at all. It is saying that when you treat temporary things as your ultimate thing, they will all collapse under the weight of your expectations. This book pulls back the curtain on your grind, your hustle, your late-night scrolling, your constant distraction, your quiet desperation, and asks, if all you have is under the sun, no eternal perspective, no fear of God, no judgment, no forever, what are you actually doing this for? Ecclesiastes refuses to let you numb out. It forces you to face the question most people postpone until it's too late. When the applause fades, your energy runs out, your money is spent, your name is forgotten, what will your life actually have been about? Everything without God feels like vapor. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What profit has a man from all his labor, in which he toils under the sun? What do people gain from all their labors, at which they toil under the sun? The book opens with a verdict, not a gentle introduction. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. The teacher looks at life under the sun, life limited to what you can see and touch and count in this world, and he asks a cutting question. What profit does a person actually gain from all the labor, all the toil, all the effort? He is not asking whether life has moments of joy. He is asking what is left when the moments pass. Without God in the picture, everything under the sun eventually feels like chasing smoke. Think about how much of your internal life sounds like this. If I can just get this job. If I can just get out of this job. If I can just meet someone. If I can just get married. If we can just have kids. If I can just get them grown. You hit a milestone and feel a surge. Then the feeling slides away and your soul quietly leans forward toward the next thing. You can fill your days with busyness and still feel that hollow question echoing in the background. Why does it still feel like something is missing? Ecclesiastes is not mocking your efforts. It is diagnosing your condition. Matter of fact, when you build your meaning on anything under the sun, you are building your life on vapor. Heart check. What specific thing are you secretly betting on right now to finally make life feel worth it? And are you willing to ask what happens if you get it and still feel empty? Pleasure and achievement still leave you hungry. Ecclesiastes 2 verse 1. I said in my heart, "Come now, I will test you with mirth. Therefore enjoy pleasure." Ecclesiastes 2 verses 10 to 11. And whatsoever mine eyes desired I kept not from them, and behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit, and there was no profit under the sun. The teacher tests pleasure. He tells his own heart, let's go, enjoy it, try it all. He withholds nothing his eyes desire. He does not chain his appetites. If he wants it, he takes it. If he can build it, he builds it. If he can buy it, he buys it. Then he stands back, looks at everything his hands have made and everything his heart enjoyed, and he realizes it was vanity. It was vexation, agitation, frustration, restlessness. There was no real profit, no solid gain. The feeling came. Then it left, and he was still hungry. You do not need a palace to live this. You have your own version. You binge the show. You get to the end. You feel nothing. You chase the relationship. You get their attention. You feel high for a while. Then normal life returns, and so does the ache. You buy the thing, where the thing posts a thing. It gets likes, and then disappears into the endless scroll. A few days later, you are hunting for the next hit. Pleasure is not evil. Work is not evil. Achievement is not evil. But Ecclesiastes is clear. If you ask any of those to be your ultimate satisfaction, they will all fail you. Matter of fact, when you treat pleasure and success as saviors, they will give you a momentary high and a long, quiet crash. Heart check. Where have you been telling yourself, once I finally get this, I'll be okay, even though every pass finally has faded the same way? You are not in control of time. Ecclesiastes 3 verses 1 to 2. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Also he has set the world in their heart. Ecclesiastes 3 lists times that you do not schedule. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, a time to dance. You do not get to sit with a calendar and assign these. They roll over your life whether you are ready or not. Then the teacher says, God has made everything beautiful in his time, and he has set eternity in human hearts, a sense that there is more than this life. Yet we cannot fully grasp everything he does. You live in time, but you hunger for eternity. You know this in your bones. You feel the clock moving. Childhood fades. Opportunities pass. Relationships change. Faces age. You are painfully aware that time is not yours to command. At the same time, there is a part of you that refuses to believe that you are just a brief accident. You sense that your life and choices matter beyond these few years. You feel the tug of forever, even if you try to drown it out. Ecclesiastes says that tension is on purpose. You are supposed to feel the smallness of your control and the largeness of your soul. You cannot control time, but time will expose what you built your life on. Matter of fact, you do not control the times of your life, but the way you live in those times reveals what your heart truly worships. Heart check right now. In this season, what are your habits and priorities saying about what you believe life is really about? Work without God and people leaves you alone and empty. Ecclesiastes 4 verses 7 to 8. Then I returned, and I saw vanity under the sun. There is one alone, and there is not a second. Yeah, he hath neither child nor brother, yet is there no end of all his labor. This is also vanity, yet is a sore travail. The teacher looks at a man alone. No meaningful relationships, no real companionship. Yet there is no end to his labor. He works and works and works. But for whom does he labor? He never stops to ask. He never stops at all. He has sacrificed relationships on the altar of productivity and gain, and in the end, it is called vanity, empty, painful striving. You do not have to be rich to live this way. You can be the person whose whole identity is, I stay grinding, always busy, always reachable, always tired. You measure your worth by what you cross off a list. You tell yourself it's for your family, but you are never really present with them. You tell yourself it's for God, but you have no time to sit quietly before him. At the end of the day, your phone is full, your brain is fried, and your heart is lonely. Ecclesiastes is a warning. A life where work is God and relationships are expendable will end with you surrounded by what you built, but starved of what you needed. Matter of fact, if you sacrifice God and people on an altar work, you will end up successful, exhausted, and alone, and none of it will satisfy. Heart check. Have you traded real connection with God and people for constant productivity? And if so, what do you honestly think that will feel like in 20 years? Money will never be enough. Ecclesiastes 5 verse 10. He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity. The teacher does not say money is useless. He says if you love it, it will never satisfy you. If your heart is attached to silver, you will not be satisfied when you get some. If your heart loves abundance, an increase will not finally make you feel safe. It will only reset your definition of enough. This is vanity, empty, chasing, restless love pointed in the wrong direction. You promise yourself, if I can just get to this number, I'll breathe. You get there, and suddenly the goalpost moves. Inflation rises. Someone you know seems further ahead. A new fear pops up. Now you need a new number to feel okay. Money starts to whisper lies. I can make you safe. I can make you somebody. I can make sure you're never abandoned. Ecclesiastes tells you the truth. Money is a terrible false god. It can buy comfort. It cannot buy contentment. Matter of fact, if you love money, no amount of money will ever feel like enough. Heart check. What does your heart do when you imagine losing what you have versus losing closeness with God? Ecclesiastes 6 verse 7. All the labor of man is for his mouth, and yet the appetite is not filled. All the work, all the effort, all the labor, and the appetite is still not full. You eat and you need to eat again. You accomplish and you need a new accomplishment. You prove yourself and you need to prove yourself again. You live hungry. Modern real-life example. The treadmill that never arrives. Picture someone on a treadmill. They are sweating. Their legs are burning. Their heart is pounding. The screen shows miles, calories, pace. But no matter how hard they run, they are still in the same room. The scenery never changes. Someone watching from the outside could say, "You look exhausted. Where are you going?" The honest answer would be, "Nowhere. I've been here the whole time." That is what a godless pursuit of meaning feels like. You run. You push. You stay busy. You chase better. You hit goals. But under the sun, without God at the center, your soul is still in the same place. Tired. Hungry. Unsettled. You wake up and do it again, hoping that this day, this success, this purchase, this achievement will finally move you somewhere on the inside. But the treadmill never arrives. It just keeps moving under your feet. Matter of fact, without God as your destination, all your motion becomes exhaustion without progress. Heart check. Are you running harder and harder in life, but realizing deep down that you're not actually getting anywhere that matters? Death exposes what you live for. Ecclesiastes 9 verse 2. All things come alike to all. There is one event to the righteous and to the wicked. Ecclesiastes 9 verse 5. For the living know that they shall die. The teacher looks at life and sees something we try to ignore. One event comes to all. The righteous and the wicked. The clean and the unclean. The one who offers sacrifice and the one who does not. Everyone dies. The living know they will die. They may push it away, deny it, joke about it, but they know. Ecclesiastes is not morbid for shock value. It is pushing you to look honestly at the one event you cannot avoid. You can dodge many things. You cannot dodge this. You don't like thinking about it, but you know your body will not always be this strong. Your mind will not always be this sharp. Your opportunities will not always be this open. You can use your years pretending that day will not come, filling your life with noise so you don't have to face it. Or you can let that reality expose what your life is actually built on. Ecclesiastes is not saying nothing matters because we die. It is saying death will show you what mattered most. Matter of fact, if death does not shape how you live, you are living in denial about the one thing you know for sure is coming. Heart check. If your life ended this year, What story would your choices tell about what you really believe mattered? Fear God and keep his commandments. Ecclesiastes 12 verses 13 to 14. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work into judgment, with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. After all the wrestling, questioning, observing, and testing, the teacher does not leave you in fog. He gives a conclusion. Fear God, keep his commandments. This is the whole duty of man. Why? Because God will bring every work into judgment, every secret thing, every hidden motive, every quiet compromise, every unseen act of obedience. Life is not meaningless because God is there. Life without him at the center becomes meaningless. Life lived in reverent fear and obedience to him is charged with eternal weight. You are not just a worker, a parent, a student, a creator, a friend. You are a soul who will stand before God. Every decision under the sun is not just about this week. It is about standing before the one who sees every secret thing. Ecclesiastes does not give you a neat 3-step formula for happiness. It gives you a God to fear, a will to obey, and an eternity to live in light of. The question is not, does my life feel meaningful today? The question is, will my life matter when I stand in front of him? Matter of fact, the only way to escape meaninglessness is to fear God, obey him, and live every moment knowing you will stand before him. Heart check. Are you arranging your life like someone who will give an account to God, or like someone who thinks this world is all there is? My heartfelt plea, please listen carefully. Ecclesiastes is not written to make you depressed. It is written to make you honest. Honest about the treadmill you are on. Honest about the emptiness that keeps coming back. Honest about the fact that you are wearing yourself out chasing something that never seems to stay. Some of you know exactly what this book is talking about. You climbed a ladder and realized it was leaning on the wrong wall. You got the relationship, and the loneliness did not leave. You got the job, and the insecurity did not go away. You bought the thing, and the ache came back. You have enough life experience now to know that just a little more will not fix your soul. But you do not know what else to do, so you get back on the treadmill and try to run faster. Others of you are younger in this journey. You still believe the dream. You think, let me get there first. If I had what he had, what she has, I would not feel like that. Ecclesiastes stands in your future, waving at you from the other side, saying, I was there. I had more. It was still empty. This is mercy, not cruelty. God is letting you see the end of that road before you spend your whole life on it. And for some of you, the heaviest part is death. You feel the fear, so you distract yourself. You joke about it. You numb it. You bury it under noise. But it comes back in quiet moments, and you do not know what to do with it. Ecclesiastes is pulling you toward a holy, sobering reality. You are going to stand before God. Your life, under the sun, will be held up to his light. Your secrets will not stay secret. That should scare you, not into despair, but into finally admitting, I am not enough. My life is not about me. I have spent so much time chasing vapor. If you feel that ache, that dread, that restlessness, that is not God rejecting you. That is God waking you up. He is not torturing you with meaninglessness. He is rescuing you from false meaning. He is calling you away from the lie that your worth is in what you do, what you own, who you impress, or how you feel. He is calling you back to fear him, to trust him, to obey him, and to let him be the center you were made for. Do not ignore that call. Do not drown it out. Do not go back to sleep. If your life under the sun has been exposed today, run toward the one who sits above the sun, the God who will judge every work, and the God who, in Christ, offers mercy to the ones who finally admit they need it. Call to responsibility. Acknowledge the emptiness honestly. Stop pretending the treadmill is working. Stop calling restlessness normal. Admit to God, I have built my life on things that cannot hold me. Repent of false gods. Name them. Is it success? Is it pleasure? Is it money? Is it people's approval? Is it control? Tell God the truth. I have feared these more than I have feared you. Recenter your life on God, not as an add-on, but as the center. Ask, what would change if I really believed I exist to? Fear God and keep His commandments. Let that question reshape your schedule, your money, your work, and your relationships. Live today in light of judgment, not in terror, but in seriousness. Before you decide, ask, will I be glad I did this when I stand before Him? Let that steer your choices. Choose obedience, even when it doesn't feel dramatic. Ecclesiastes does not call you to chase big emotional highs. It calls you to fear God in ordinary days. Obey when no one sees. Honor Him in the small. Trust that in His hands, nothing done for Him is meaningless. Your responsibility is not to make the wind stand still. Your responsibility is to stop chasing it and start walking with the God who rules over it. Final truth. Ecclesiastes does not say life is meaningless. It says life without God at the center becomes meaningless. Pleasure without God will turn bitter. Work without God will turn hollow. Wealth without God will turn restless. Time without God will turn cruel. Death without God will turn into terror. But a life lived in the fear of God, in obedience to His commands, in awareness that you will stand before Him. That life is full of weight, full of purpose, full of meaning that stretches beyond the grave. Here's the final truth. You were never meant to build your own meaning under the sun. You were made to live before the God who made the sun. What if the emptiness you feel is not a sign that God has failed you, but proof that you've been asking created things to be your God? What if the restlessness that follows every new achievement is not a curse, but God refusing to let you get comfortable far from Him? What if the fear you have about death is not meant to paralyze you, but to push you toward the only one who can carry you beyond it? What if today is not just another day on the treadmill, but the day you finally step off and say, God, I am done chasing wind. I am ready to fear you, trust you, and obey you. Message to non-believers. If you do not consider yourself a believer, Ecclesiastes is still talking to you. You know what it is to chase. You know what it is to get the thing you wanted and feel the high fade. You know what it is to lie awake and wonder, is this all? You know what it is to feel time slipping and to feel a knot in your stomach when you think about dying. The Bible is not shy about this. You were made by God. For God, when you live without Him, everything bends toward emptiness. The God who will bring every work into judgment is the same God who sent His Son, Jesus, to die for sinners, to rise again, and to offer forgiveness and new life. You cannot fix your past. You cannot erase your sin. You cannot create your own meaning that lasts. But you can come to Him honestly and say, God, I have lived far from you. I have chased vapor. I am a sinner. I need mercy. I believe Jesus died for me and rose again. I want you at the center. You can stay your own center. You can keep chasing what never satisfies. But you cannot do that and expect your life to have the meaning it was created for. Lord, you see the emptiness in our chasing. You see the way we run and stay in the same place inside. You see the idols we cling to, success, pleasure, money, image, control. You see the way we treat vapor like it can hold our souls. Forgive us. We confess that we have lived under the sun as if you were not there. We have feared everything but you. We have obeyed every desire but yours. Have mercy on us. Teach us to fear you. Teach us to keep your commandments. Teach us to live each day, knowing we will stand before you, where our hearts are restless. Center us in you, where our lives are built on sand. Rebuild us on who you are, where we have been sprinting on the treadmill. Bring us to a full stop and turn us toward your path. Thank you that in Jesus, there is forgiveness for wasted years and grace for new obedience. We surrender our search for meaning and ask you to be the reason. In Jesus' name, amen. May the God of Ecclesiastes break every illusion that anything under the sun can carry the weight of your soul. May he expose the emptiness of your idols and the restlessness of your chasing, not to shame you, but to draw you back to himself. May you step off the treadmill, stop chasing the wind, and learn to fear God, keep his commandments, and live every day in light of eternity. And as you live with true meaning in a world chasing vapor, always remember to be the light. Real talk is meant to call us higher, not push us away. If God convicted you today, it means he's calling you to come closer. Always remember to be the light. Pals for life.